Hey YouTubers, good morning, it's Rob Moffett. Guys, today we're going to be talking about how to buy an e-bike. If you're trying to make up your mind, if the idea of buying an e-bike is starting to drive you crazy because there's so many types and you really don't know where to start, or you've already started but you're still, let me tell you my journey. There are so many videos on YouTube about specific e-bikes or e-bikes in general, but hardly any about how to make up your mind about buying the right bike. Um, when I decided I wanted an e-bike or I needed an e-bike, I started my journey, and it's been about 2 or 3 weeks, and I bought one just the other day. And let me show you my process. One of the first things I did is I went to ChatGPT and I asked it, what are the top 15 common mistakes people make when they purchase electric bicycles? I've never bought one before. I didn't know a lot about them, so it gave me a lot of good information. You can stop the video and you can see the responses. And it told me that I should, one thing is research more electric bicycles before buying. So then I asked it, what are the top ways of researching? And it gave me information about the top ways. Then I asked it about what are the top brands that are being sold, and it wouldn't tell me. Then I said, what are the ones that are giving people the least problems? It mentioned Anshir and Nacto and another one, but it wasn't uh, it was helpful, but not as much help as I had thought. But then I decided to start learning more about the electric bicycles. I went to a site called Bumstead's Bicycles. This is run by this person here. He sells bicycles in a bike shop. His life is bicycles. That's what he does for a living. And I'm not related to him. I don't know him. He lives on one side of the country. I live on the other. But I've read or listened to a lot of videos on e-bikes in the last 3 weeks, and I thought the ones he has been doing are some of the best I've run across. So if you want to learn more about uh, what bikes to buy and so on, and what are the best bargains and so on, I think Bumsteads is a very good site. So then I started my search in earnest. And what I did is I started keeping a list, a focus list, a checklist of things to uh, look at when I was looking at different bicycles. Because there's over, I think, 200 different brands. So initially, my focus was very short. It was just deciding if what was my reasons for wanting an e-bike or did I need one? And or then where will I use it and when and how often will I use it and what will the maximum weight be? And then as I was looking at bicycles, I was using this information to try to make a decision. But then it really wasn't enough. So I went back and I came up with the top reasons I want a bike. And this is very important. If it's probably the most important part of the video, you need to narrow down to a very core few reasons why you want or need an e-bike. So when you're doing your search, the reason I'm telling you this is I'm an expert at buying things. I may not be an expert at bicycles, but I'm an expert at getting a bargain and buying. And let me tell you, almost 3 different occasions, I almost went and bought something that was wrong for me because I didn't really know what I wanted, and I was just getting tired of the search, and I just wanted it over with, and I didn't want to look anymore, and I almost clicked the button and bought something that would not have been something I really wanted. So if a professional like me can almost buy something out of frustration, you really need a list and narrow down to what are the real reasons you want. So I made my A list of all the reasons. Um, I didn't want to look like a circus clown, number one, which is hilarious when you find out the bike I got in the end. That was, but at the time, that was my number one reason. I wanted the lowest cost possible, reliability. I wanted parts and services available because so often when I looked, there really weren't any parts and services available. Um, I wanted the parts be low cost. I wanted to be very comfortable. It had to be very portable. Also, if it lost power, I wanted to be able to pedal like a normal bicycle, and I wanted distance and speed. And I thought this was all I needed. But then as I began doing my research, I found more and more people on certain brands when they purchased their bicycle, they said they bought a second one. And I realized that if someone bought a e-bike and later on they liked it so much they bought another one, that is an extremely positive factor in the favor of that specific type of e-bike. I wanted to be hackable because I knew even if there was service available, there may not be service in the future. Even if there are parts available, maybe there won't be parts in the future. So it had to be something that was hackable. And the one I purchased has a very large online community of people who are hacking their bicycles and doing things to them with lots of specific videos and blog posts. Um, is it available for a test ride? So these became my A list. Then for my B list, I went to does it have an extended warranty? Does it anti-theft? Does it have a cool name? I saw one that I think it had the name Hit Me. I said I'm not buying a bicycle called Hit Me. I don't care how cheap it is. Power for hills. I live in a flat area, but I did want to be able to go uphill sometimes. But for other people, that would probably be a number one feature. Does it have the ability to have a bike rack, motor watt requirement? Some places, if your wattage is over 750, you're not allowed to drive it. Then how much battery amp does it have or battery voltage? Now, as I continued, and I looked for 3 weeks, and as I went more and more, it began to boil down to where there were just these features were the most important out of everything. It had to be comfortable. It preferably the owners purchased the second one. It was very low cost. The replacement parts were low. It was portable and it was hackable. Out of everything I looked at as reasons for buying, these became my top reasons. They probably won't be yours, but they were mine. And the reason I'm going into detail over this is because this is what you need to do. You need to start asking questions, then start doing your research, and then over time narrow down to what's the most important. Let the cream rise to the top till finally you have the things that are the most important. And that's going to make it so much easier for you. Because if you notice, the first one I had, I didn't want to look like a circus clown. Well, the one I ended up buying, I'm going to look like a circus clown. But because it has all of these features, I don't care. So let's show you. Why don't I show you what I got? Um, these are some of the bikes I looked at. Um, this Jason was very nice, but it was just too much. The Varen was the price was better. Um, the Populo is one of the three that I almost bought. It had a lot of nice features, and it was small, and it was very inexpensive. The Nacto was rated very highly as a manufacturer that had very good customer service, and I was thinking about getting a 26-inch wheel bike because it looks like a regular bike. I don't look like a clown in a circus riding it like the smaller bicycles, but this one can't be folded, and I don't like a basket in the front. Um, the Swagtron is another one that had a reputation of good customer service and was very lightweight and small and a little bit too small maybe, but still the price was getting close to what I was interested in paying. Nacto once again, this one was a very good one and it folds. The same bike was very interesting, but it didn't have as much quality as the others. The Anshir, I kind of have a soft spot for the Anshir. It uh, is very low price and it has a lot of sales and it's it's a little bit above average. It's not top quality, but I think it has good customer service. A lot of people like them. Overall, I like the Anshir brand. And the Vivi is the one that I came the closest to buying. It had large wheels, so I didn't look dumb on it, and it folded up and had good power and good ratings. but it was like six something, and then you had to pay more with shipping, and then by the time you had other stuff, it was starting to get close to 700 more. And I was thinking maybe there's something I can get a little bit less. And this was a Swagtron, which it's a cool name, but this is one of my favorites because it looks like a motorbike. Doesn't look like a bicycle, but it wouldn't have been as practical, and it was 500. But I still kind of it's the only one that actually looks like a motor scooter, a little mini bike. If it was refurbished for 250 like the one I got, I probably would have gotten it. This is one I did some research. They had one for 375 on Amazon, and it had no reviews, and it had an email and a website. I couldn't find any information on the website, and the phone was a phone number, and the phone number wasn't in service or something. So it just didn't feel right. Although this is popular in the UK, over in England, and maybe other parts of Europe, and it's got a lot of reviews on the England or UK Amazon site, but here in the US it didn't have any reviews, and I didn't see any way to get parts or service, and it was just didn't seem it was a little fishy to me, and the price was very 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 low. But I came so close to buying this, but I just didn't want to take the chance. And this is the one I finally got. Remember I said I didn't want it to look like the circus came to town. Well, yeah. I bought the Bolt Pro. It does make me look like a clown in a circus, but it rings the bell almost all those other things. There's a whole online community of people who are using these, and they are hacking them. They're opening this up, putting in new batteries, putting in double batteries and switches, and adding all sorts of things to it. They're using an Arduino to go in and change the speed on it so it goes to a 19, and they're adding more batteries to get more mileage, more range. It's uh, they've increased the speed. It's it's got a large community. I also wanted something really dirt cheap, just in case I never really. I didn't want to buy something then never use it and have spent the money for nothing. So this was a good way to get my feet wet, and I'm going to be able to use it for a lot of things that I had anticipated. So that was. I'm not telling you to buy this bike. This was just to go over the process I used, and I think if you're going to buy an e-bike or anything else, you might want to go to ChatGPT and then find a reliable YouTube channel that covers the specific thing that you're thinking about buying, and then uh, go into detail in focusing on those things that are most important to you about the item that you're going to purchase before you make the purchase. So, guys, I hope that was helpful to you. I'm going to be putting on some videos in the very near future on my Jetson Bolt Pro before I run off and join the circus. But if you're trying to buy something, whether it's an e-bike or something else, you want to have a checklist of what are the features that you want to satisfy the most. Right? I hope this was something helpful for you guys. I put out new videos every week. Been doing it for 16 years. Got over 1,200 videos. A bunch of cool people I feature on my channel. Down at the bottom. No relation to me. They would deny it anyway. Down here. And like I said, cool playlist and new stuff on my variety channel every single week. All right, guys. Take care and see you out there.